So good evening. Today we shall be looking at the theoretical and conceptual framework. I'm called Dr.Turyagumanawe. So the presentation today, we're going to look at the introduction, the definition, the differences, examples of the theoretical and conceptual framework. I will dwell more on the theoretical framework. So the theoretical framework is a foundational review of existing theories that serves as a roadmap for developing the arguments that you will use in your own work. So theories are developed by researchers already to explain certain phenomena or to draw connections and make predictions. So in a theoretical framework, you explain the existing theories that support your research, showing that your paper or dissertation topic is relevant and is grounded on established ideas. There are several theories that have already been developed. For example, you might think about the health belief model, you might think about the social ecologic model, you might think about all other theoretical models. And those models which have already been developed by other researchers, you can model them to explain a phenomena that you are studying at the current situation. So the conceptual framework, on the other hand, illustrates the expected relationship between your variables. So it defines the relevant objectives for your research process and maps out how they come together to draw coherent conclusions. So basically, it is a relationship between your dependent and independent variables, or between your outcome and predictor variables. So this is the difference between theoretical and conceptual framework. Like I have already said, the theoretical framework it provides a theoretic lens or theoretic spectacles, if you would call that, for examining how your research is grounded, whereas a conceptual framework is specific for your study, that usually you might have come out by looking at the relationship between your predictor and outcome variables, and maybe looking at the literature of how other researchers on your topic have dealt with it. The theoretical framework draws on existing theories from literature, while the conceptual framework usually is made de novo. You can make your own theoretical framework based on the literature you have read, or you can adopt a framework which has been used by another scholar in the same area that you are studying, or you can adapt it, you can adapt it to your situation, to your current situation. You make some modifications to explain the relationship between the dependent and independent variables that you are studying in your current research topic. The other difference is that a theoretical framework establishes the theoretical foundation for your research, whereas a conceptual framework provides a schematic of how you understand the relationship between the variables in your topic. Usually you'd find a drawing showing arrows, an arrow between dependent and independent variables. It could be unidirectional or bidirectional. And like I've already mentioned, you could make it de novo on your own most of the times. So the other difference is that the theoretical framework gives a structured interpretation of a theory or a phenomena that you are investigating, whereas a conceptual framework basically defines the key research concepts. So I've given an example of a theoretical framework that I have used in one of my studies on the willingness of residents to receive the COVID-19 vaccination. And this is the social ecologic model. It really explains that an individual's behavior can be predicted because the individual is not an isolated being. Yes, he interacts with himself. For example, if you look at the adolescent, there are all these physiological changes, there are hormonal changes, and so on, and that could affect their behavior. And at interpersonal level, the interaction with peers also affects how they behave. At organizational level, how they interact hospital policies and the other policies at community levels could be to do with social stigma, and at the level of public policy could be if there was a policy of supplying the vaccines free of charge. All these could affect a person's willingness to receive the COVID vaccine. So you can imagine any topic, and especially if you are looking at social behaviors of individuals, you could use these models, the social ecologic model, the health belief model, and so on, depending on how you want to bring your argument and really demonstrate that your research is grounded in existing theory. I thank you. I hope this helps.